Hi, it's Jeannie Rainey. I'm glad you decided to join my Stamparatus class, which consists of 12 different techniques. There'll be 3 different segments of 4 techniques each. Now the Stamparatus has 2 different plates on hinges, so it allows you to have a variety of different stamps ready to stamp a lot quickly. I'm using To a Wild Rose stamp set. For this first example, I'm using different colors, Petal Pink and Calypso Coral. I'm stamping off here. Then I'm turning the plate around. The plates need to be directly up and down in order to take them off, straight up and down. Calypso Coral is the color I'm using here. Some of our stamps, you need to have 2 or 3 different stamps to make one image, and that's what this first technique is. It's called 2, 3, and 4 step stamping, and I was playing with a variety of different colors here. You can also play with stamping off to get different amounts of color. This one I want to show you all using one color. This is Petal Pink. So use your grid paper to stamp off on. It gives you a lighter tone. Again, this technique is called 2, 3, 4 step stamping. I decided to stamp this off twice for a lighter color. Isn't that nice? It's just one color, but it looks like a variety. The next technique I'm going to show you is called repeat stamping. I'm going to stamp on my grid paper first to make sure it's straight. Then, because these plates are on hinges, I can simply pick them up and move them down a notch, and it's going to be perfectly straight in respect to the first image stamped. And I can just continue on moving my plate or moving my paper down, and my stamped image is going to be straight. This sentiment is from Celebrate Sunflowers. So all I'm doing is moving my plate down the hinges and stamping, and I get them perfectly aligned. Another thing you can do here is basically the same thing, but continue stamping without re-inking your stamp, and it gives you different tones of color. So this technique is called repeat stamping. Now I'm going to show you how to stamp on pre-cut dies. This is going to save you a lot of time. If you want many of the repeated pattern, cut them out with your die, and then you can save paper by cutting out close together. Then when you're ready to stamp, you use your template that you've made, position your stamp onto your plate, and then test it on a piece of grid paper to make sure it's lined up. You take your template and just place it on top of the stamped image to make sure it's lined up right. So mine wasn't quite lined up right. So I'm going to clean it off and try again. So you can kind of wiggle it around to feel where it is in the, where the stamp fits into the opening. Oops, my paper slipped. So try it again. There we go. That one looks perfect. Now I can mass produce my die-cutted images. There's one. Let's do a couple more to show you. There we go. Okay, the next technique is called simple spotlight stamping. I'm going to stamp my image in a color, and then my second image I'm going to stamp in a darker color. I'm going to take a punch, line up my images on top of each other, punch through both. Then you can put the lighter one with the darker image and the darker one with the lighter image for a fun technique. To make it a spotlight, you need to take a larger punch, line them up again, and this gives you a ring around the circle that you punched out originally, and that's what gives you the spotlight look. Thank you for joining the first of my 3-part Stamparatus class. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for the rest of the techniques.